All League on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Chiefs and the 49ers, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Robbie Gould's got it on the tee. He kicks it off, and here we go from Levi's Stadium. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Screen play, McKinnon. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
From the 31, Mahomes. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. Mahomes finding Juju there for the Kansas City first. Now Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. Trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll start out here with a jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Second down and 8. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Got his target, Samuel. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. He's going to try and take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels and picking up some nice yardage.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. He'll decide to keep this once more. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Off the option, here's McCaffrey. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Here's Purdy. And that is incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Gould is good, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Looking underneath, and he finds McKinnon. And he will have a Chiefs first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, Mahomes finding his burner Hardman for the KC first.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 36. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they get man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So on fourth down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Mahomes now to throw. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet, he's going to have the 1st down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a toss here, short side. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Here's Mahomes to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. Back deep, Ray McLeod. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On 1st down, Purdy. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Purdy with it on 3rd and long.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it.
And he is going to have a 49ers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Now Purdy.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jennings. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. Here's Mitch Wishnowski now. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Back near his goal line. Here's Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes
Throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelsey.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, You're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Mahomes now on first down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster again. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Second and 4. Now here's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. That is caught inside the 5. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
They'll try and run for it. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Oh, the middle complete to Samuel. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. A beautiful fake. And he's got some space here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 50 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Purdy on 4th down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is going to have the Niners first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw, Purdy. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Brock Purdy scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the 49ers have retaken the lead.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about. Assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15. And now here comes Kansas City. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive that lasts into double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Dan into his, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. He'll look to throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. McLeod to return it. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's George Karlaftis greeting him behind the line with a big stop. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Purdy now to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Over the middle, complete. That's Jennings. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Mahomes. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster.
And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20.
They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Mahomes now on first down. Open man downfield is Hardman. He's got it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And give him a gain of 37.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 44 yards, as they have taken the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Butker now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
It's game time.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And San Francisco gets set to go here. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Purdy looking to throw on first down here. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. Looking to throw again on second down. Purdy toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On first down, Purdy. Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
And out come the Chiefs now. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover, as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes finding Hardman here over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Mahomes now to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now it's Mahomes again. And that's caught. It's Kelce. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 21-10 game. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A final shot before break. Purdy. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. A final shot before break. Purdy. Looking deep for Jennings. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando, standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And our statisticians got through a couple of pencils already. This offense is on pace for potentially 500 yards in passing. That's pretty incredible. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they were on the other end of the spectrum in terms of passing efficiency. That's going to need to improve in the second half to come.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing here, Purdy. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle. but they allow the conversion.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. And he'll just get rid of it.
Show them what you got. Let's get some now. Let's turn it up.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. For the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
What's the deal, y'all? We gotta be big time now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Shotgun now with Purdy. It's caught by Jennings. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be fourth and short.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 11. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man in stride, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a toss here, short side. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes caught Kelsey left side. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Get something to get here.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Mahomes to throw. With no hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. Heck of a move and then brought down near the 23. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Mahomes, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. This will be caught just inside the 10. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Isaiah Pacheco with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the 2nd time of the ball game.
And Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Purdy. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs will take over possession here up at the 44. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From just shy of midfield, Mahomes and hitting Juju on the slant. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now here's Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster again. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Gotta be patient.
4 yards remain for 2nd down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Right back to him on 1st down. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Mahomes. Screen play, McKinnon. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Throwing now is Mahomes. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And that's understanding where the muckers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Mecole Hardman the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Mahomes, and that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling bringing in that one from Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and they open the lead up now to 25. A 10-play drive that time, and it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 40, 20, 10, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, 49ers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now Gold for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Mahomes now on first down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. From the gun, he'll hand this off, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He finds McKinnon, complete. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. On first down, it's Purdy. He's got Ayuk once again. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yards here. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On third down, it's Purdy. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
Here we go with McCaffrey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back can get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure he got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2nd and 9. Throwing here, Purdy. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down, Purdy. Hauled in left side here by Jennings. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late, because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
To throw again on 2nd down, Purdy. And that one going to come up short, low throw. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Purdy's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Purdy now to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 2nd and goal, Purdy. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey from 3 yards out. And the Niners have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Gold with the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Kansas City and Juju Smith-Schuster running out for another series. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Purdy to throw it on 1st down. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the 49ers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
They'll look to throw. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points that gets him back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Second and 2. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down. A nice, consistent gain.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Open man, it's the tight end Kelsey. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 39. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. To throw, it's Mahomes. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. The loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Mahomes able to complete this to Juju. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Mahomes to throw once more. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Handoff, it's McKinnon. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. To throw is Mahomes. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Running it with a fullback, Burton. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Chiefs will add to their 4th quarter lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. So now the Niners down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Here's Purdy. This one caught by Kittle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Purdy to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down. Now Purdy. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Here's Purdy. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had. Let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a fourth quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.